On a recent train journey under cover of darkness in a tunnel, I secretly switched bananas with the stranger opposite because his looked better than mine.
So, why was there no lighting in this train? Were you perhaps travelling in the 1870s?
Because it was daytime, and in daytime, they don't turn the lights on in a train.
What? So they were unaware of the tunnels on their route?
The tunnel was so brief and so quick, they didn't bother.
So it was a very brief, so it's basically like an extended bridge?
It was a shortcut.
So it was a very quick tunnel, but
very
nevertheless
quick tunnel. I would
swap
say
bananas.
No more than 5 seconds.
Can you demonstrate how you did it?
Yeah. I had my banana, and I was looking at it thinking, you know, when yours is just a bit... It's not... I like them really yellow. I don't like that bit where they're just starting to go a little bit black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a little bit. But it was close enough where I thought, given an opportunity, I reckon I could swap that banana, because he was reading his paper. But he's not concentrating on that banana. He hasn't fully engaged with the colour.
So he was reading his paper.
Yeah.
So he's holding a newspaper with 2 hands, and then in one of the hands he also had a banana.
No, it was on the table in front of... Have you been on a train recently?
The point is, he wasn't holding the banana.
I'm not that bold.
No, fine.
I'm not that bold. That would have been awkward in the darkness. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? And then the lights come on, and I go... Mine was sitting on the table, his was sitting on the table.
OK, and you saw the 2 bananas. Yours has gone a bit manky. His is pristine.
Just
on the turn.
Just enough that I could get away with swapping it.
Yeah, so it's plausible that he might think, oh, I thought this banana was fresher than this.
But it was like a film.
It's been 14 seconds later. Maybe it's just turned.
Did you have any reading materials, or were you just sat...
Don't mock me, you know I can't read. I was simply entertaining myself, as ever, with my Etch-a-Sketch. And I remember thinking... I'm looking at it, he's not looked at that banana once. That's wasted on him, but that's irritating me. Yeah. So and I just thought, like that, put it back in its case, I'm very protective of it. And I thought, could I? And I was tempted to do it. I thought, no, I'll never get away with this. And then suddenly, it was pitch black.
I'm struggling to envision a tunnel that takes 5 seconds to get through, but is...
Well, do you know those really long tunnels?
Yeah.
Imagine one of them, but really short.
that renders the whole carriage just a complete blackout.
Yeah. Well, you know, all I could say, this is one important factor you're missing. Bright sunshine, eye adjustment.
Because the effect of the bright sunlight directly on your eyes...
Did I not mention how bright it was?
Very, very bright.
Oh, it was bright. I can't help thinking he wasn't reading that paper. He was shielding him. In fact, the banana was so bright. I think the bananas actually grew on the train.
Yeah. There's a moment of complete blackness.
Black!
You're almost blinded in this blackness.
And you know, it was so dark. You know when it's so dark, you think, God, it's dark, I could nick a banana.
But that's my whole point. How did you manage to put your hand on his banana to be so... I mean, you must have rummaged around.
No, I didn't rummage. Picture the scene. The Etch-a-Sketch is away. He's behind his paper. And I'm looking, and his banana's definitely reachable, and he's not looking, and it's there. And even before we go through the tunnel, I'm tempted. I'm going, could I? No. Could I? No, there's no one looking here. There's no one looking. And I'm so close to making that decision. Yeah. It goes black. Get it. Get it. Go. He goes. And I'll never forget his face. I will never forget his face. He literally, it made a bit of a noise, a bit of a kerfuffle, and the lights came, and he literally went... I knew I'd got away with it.
So what do you think, David?
What do you think?
Absolute nonsense.
All right.
Just
listen. Give me another go. It was a pomegranate on a rickshaw.
I mean, it's a very, very rich, complete picture that Lee has painted.
Yes.
But I don't think he... I simply don't think he would
Grapefruit in a
steal
bottle?
someone else's banana.
I think he looks low on potassium as well.
Yes.
So, for you, it is a lie. Lee, were you... This is everybody's on tenterhooks to find out. Were you telling the truth? Or was it maybe a lie?
What do we think, Tim?
No. This is the one where you know the answer and you say.
Oh, I see. In that case, it's a lie.
I always make toast By ironing the bread. It tastes much better that way.
Lee, what do you think?
Do you apply butter pre-ironing?
No.
Well, that would be mental.
No, that would be crazy. Because then you are in danger, of course, of cooking the butter. You get a beurre noisette on top of your toast, which wouldn't do you any good at all.
He's good.
Is this the same iron that you use for the clothes, then, straight after?
You can use any hot, flat metal implement to iron the bread. You don't have to use an electric iron.
I quite often put a shirt in a toaster.
What other hot, flat metal implements do you have?
Well, you can get a spatula and heat it.
A spatula? That must take a long time to do toast.
Not a plastic one.
Oh, I know the basics, Greg.
You can get a fish slice.
Why? Is this the kind of advice you give out on MasterChef? Never, ever eat up a plastic spatula. What's the bread on?
It doesn't matter what the bread's on.
Oh.
Normally a work surface.
So when you put the iron on, you're going to squash it a little bit, surely?
To flatten it a little bit and squash it a little bit is the point.
So
without getting your sweaty palm on it.
Bread is flat, isn't it?
Well, of course, it's not rolling hillocks, I know this. But it's also bouncy.
Bread isn't necessarily flat. If you slice it flat, it's flat. A loaf of bread isn't flat.
What are you doing, toast?
A loaf of bread, you say... No, but I mean, you can't say bread is flat. Paper is flat. Bread isn't necessarily flat. Bread's only flat if you cut it into a flat shape and then iron it, like anyone sensible.
If I was going to pick you up on anything tonight, Lee, and I like to think that I will, it would be how you pronounce the word topiary. Did anybody notice he went topiary? It was like a wonderful mixture of trimming a hedge and a little bowl you have of things that smell nice in the house.
I say topiary. What do you say?
Well, it's topiary. It's not topiary.
So hang on. Whoa, just to backtrack. There's a man ironing his bread, and I'm being picked up because I'm saying topiary a bit like potpourri. Where the hell's David gone? Oh. I thought he was so middle class that I pronounced it wrong and he fainted.
I'll tell you what, I knocked a water bottle onto what I can only describe as a nest of wires.
And also, he was a little bored.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you were just trying to teach Lee how to speak. I mean, we could be here all night.
If you iron bread, would it ever properly toast? Wouldn't it just get very soggy and hot?
You could put butter in the steaming bit.
You could have a butter one and a jam one.
Oh, no, but if you put the jam in, then you're going to have the problem you have with a Pop-Tart, which is when you get a Pop-Tart comes out and you forget to let it cool down. A Pop-Tart is something that working class people have for breakfast, just before it's mentioned by anybody.
I'm about as working class as it gets. I don't know what a Pop-Tart is.
You iron bread.
I don't always use an iron.
What do you sometimes use?
I just told you.
A hot metal implement, like a spatula.
Yeah, or a fish slice.
How are you heating up the fish slice?
You could just put that on a naked flame.
It's just occurred to me that it's a bit like toasting on the Arga, isn't it? Because it's a hot surface. Similar.
Mind you, that is posh.
Arga, that's a posh thing. I suddenly realised. Have you seen an Arga?
Yes, I have seen an Arga. I'll have you know I've broken into some very nice homes.
What are you going to say, Lee? Truth or lie?
Well, I don't know. What do you think?
To toast bread with a fish slice, you'd have to get it up to such a temperature, it'd be like molten lava.
I hate to bring everyone, but the allegation is an iron.
No. He said that he also does it with
Well,
fish
that's
slice.
just chat you're having on your own time. The allegation is the iron.
Who are you, his lawyer?
No.
I mean, for the purposes of this, yes.
Come on, let's make a decision
Right, go on.
here.
What do you think?
I simply don't buy it because of the fish slice issue.
Nina?
I just can't imagine that he'd waste, like, 20 minutes ironing a piece of bread in the mornings.
I don't think he
Well,
How big is your bread?
You gonna lie? OK.
Yeah.
We'll say lie.
Saying it's a lie. OK, Gregg Wallace, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
It's a lie.
Ah, it's a lie.
I did very well.
Yeah, Greg doesn't make toast by ironing bread.
I thought that was... I made a mental note to try that.
I can break an apple in half with my bare hands.
David's team.
What is your technique?
I take it in the hands.
Yes. Are your hands bare at this point?
Of course they're bare.
Yes.
Friction's very much part of this this equation. You must pull it, I'm going to say east to west. A lot of people think you need to twist. You don't need to twist.
You don't need to twist.
Really?
You just
don't need to
pull
twist.
apart.
Pull it apart.
How do you get the
Pull the
grip?
apple apart?
Won't your hands just slide away from it? I'd have thought you'd need to twist.
If you twist, you fail. Twisting equals tears.
So you just grip the apple in your hands and then fling them apart, and you have 2 half apples.
No, I rip it apart.
Yeah.
The way you were miming it then, there's like downward pressure from the thumbs, almost as if you're trying to open it like a book.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like? Because I can believe that more than the just grip, bang!
Yes. No, David, that's fair enough. Yes.
It's just you're almost like you insert.
Oh, but I so wish it was bang. It's not.
No, you're inserting the thumbs to try and pull it apart that way.
No insertion.
All right.
No,
But
that's
downward
the grip.
pressure.
Downward pressure. And there it is.
So where are the thumbs? Are the thumbs either side of the stalk?
You know where the thumbs are, David.
Where are the thumbs either side of the stalk?
Yes.
No insertion or penetration? Just,
No, absolutely not. No, the thumbs are used for gripping, not for ripping. That's what I was taught. And if you remember that...
The system comes with a catchphrase.
If you can remember that, you too will be parting apples.
How long have you done this for?
I have done it for a long time. What I used to do to entertain was I used to take hard-boiled eggs, peel them, I can still do it, and I could take the shell off in one. And you actually peel the membrane rather than trying to... Don't be all rough-handed and don't, you know, take your time. Off it comes bang.
And when did you...
That's the correct way to present. With an apple, it's this.
When did you first discover that you could do the apple? How did it come about? How did it come to be?
I can't remember the first time I did it. I can remember the feeling. But I can't remember the first time I did it.
What was the feeling?
The feeling was magnificent.
Right, David, is that the truth?
I don't think so, but it could be. Can we leave it at that?
Yeah, that's fine. OK, on to the next round. No, we can't.
I agree with that. I'd love to see him... I hope it's true, because then they'll make him do it.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see it.
Yeah. If it's not true,
Make
will
him
they
do
make
it
him
anyway.
try?
So what's it going to be?
Oh, I really want it to be true, but it isn't true, I don't think.
You can't pull an apple apart, can you?
You can't just rip it in half. I so want you to be able to.
If you and I can't, sure.
And I can't.
I've never tried.
Have you ever tried?
If I had an apple here, and I could have a few
but I think
goes-
if those two can't do it, David, with the greatest respect, it's highly unlikely you're going to pull it off.
tremendously, frighteningly strong hands, as I found out to my own cost.
So
you think it's a lie, then?
I'm afraid I do,
OK,
yeah.
well, I'll go with the giant.
You're going to say it's a lie? All right, you're saying it's a lie. Bob, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling the truth.
Yes.
Do it.
Well, guess what I've got under the desk? My trusty box of apples. It's a proper apple. Ready,
Yes.
Bob?
It's a big one.
Thank you. Not you, him.
Does your husband play cricket?
I love that sort of thing. Where shall I do it?
I really hope he can't do it. Yeah!
I had to reprimand my builder after I came home early one day and caught him eating doughnuts in the bath.
Please, T.
How did you reprimand him?
I said, what do you think you're playing at? What's going on?
Were they the ones with jam in the middle, or the rings?
What, the doughnuts or the bath?
The donut.
Well, they were a popular brand. They were crispy Krispy Kreme. Other brands are available, but that's what he was eating.
What did he say when you said, what the hell are you playing at?
He said, oh, so I didn't know you were coming home. In mitigation, the bath wasn't filled with water. It actually wasn't even plumbed in yet, but he was lying in it and just taking a bit of a break, having some doughnuts, having my donut.
Did you offer him biscuits and donuts beforehand, before you left that day?
Certainly not, no. Because I wanted him to plumb the bath in. And lay on a load of confectionery, he's not going to get on with the work. But anyway, he helped himself anyway. What upset me is he'd gone into the kitchen and helped himself to the...
Are they yours? They
to the donuts. No, they were mine. That's exactly
How many
right.
donuts were there?
We bought 36 because we were...
What are you doing with 36 donuts?
Well, because we were expecting friends around because it's a new house.
And you were having this housewarming, curiously, before the bathroom had been finished.
Yes, I'm concerned about your plumbing.
Yeah, well, you know, the builder...
The first time a woman said that to Jack.
The builder... The loo was done. In fact, one of them wasn't done, but yes.
I'm obsessed with the boldness of taking a whole box to the bathroom, more so than getting in the bath.
Yeah.
I don't care where he's sat.
I agree.
How far would he...
You don't care if a builder was in your house and sat in your empty bath?
Only after it's been plumbed in does that bother me.
Oh, so an empty bath that's not plumbed in, you don't mind anybody sitting in your empty bath?
Could wee in it for all I care. It's empty. It's not plumbed in. Can I just say, if you're thinking of breaking into my house, that was a joke. Do not urinate in my bath.
I must say I agree with Lee. I think an unplumbed bath is still the builder's province.
Yeah.
Once it's plumbed in, they've signed off on it. Then it's yours. It's your place of washing. Before then, who knows?
So anybody can go and sit in an unplumbed bath?
Not anyone. No, a qualified builder slash donut eater.
Okay, hold on. I want to know if the party still happened, though.
Everyone arrived, didn't they? They didn't know this had happened.
Was this a showbiz event? Because I don't remember getting the invite.
Yeah. Are you in showbiz, are you, Lee?
All right. Come on. There's no need for that, Jack. Lee, what are you thinking?
I don't know, Ramesh, what do you think?
I find your idea of serving donuts at a party unacceptable.
That is unacceptable.
And if I turn up to a party expecting donuts and then they said there are no donuts, you know what I'd say? Well, at least can I just have a hot bath? And you can't even offer that. I think it's a lie.
Gary?
Must be lying.
Both say it's a lie. I'll go with my team and say it's a lie.
All right, you're saying it's a lie. Jack, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Last year, I was ordered to leave Blackpool Tower after I threw a sausage roll off the top.
How were you discovered? Did someone see you...
Security was at the top.
And saw you... Why did you throw it?
Well, because I'm northern. And I just thought the bin's over... You know, the bin was not in sight.
Why didn't you finish it?
Because, actually, I'd already had one. This was my second. I was halfway through it, and I thought, no more for me.
Were they hot sausage rolls?
If you want, I'll give you the accurate heat of how they were. This hot.
Why did you throw it off the top? You're there, there's security there. It's a horrible thing to do. Someone, how fast is a hot, or even quite hot, sausage roll going to be moving by the time it
you're wrong,
hits some
David. No, he wasn't quite hot.
morbidly obese child down on the promenade having a miserable time on holiday in Blackpool, of all places, and then he's just heard about the divorce of his parents, consoling himself with another load of high-sugar snacks, and the next thing he knows, a warmish sausage roll hits him slap in the face.
He's trying to eat the second sausage roll.
David, let's have a guess.
Fern.
I don't think he would.
I think it's a lie.
I think we think this is a lie.
Yeah.
You're all agreed?
Yes.
It's a lie?
It's a lie.
OK, Lee, is it the truth or is it a lie?
It's actually a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Lee was not ordered to leave the Blackpool Tower after throwing a sausage roll off the top. As if anyone from the north would waste something wrapped in pastry.
As a child, rather than sleeping with a comfort blanket or teddy bear, I slept with a potato.
Lee Mack, what do you think?
Was it the same potato, or did you have different potatoes over the years?
Well, that was the problem, because you get attached to a potato. So, when you get attached to a potato, it's rotting a bit, but it's your comfort. It's like your teddy bear's it smells of your old teddy bear, or whatever it happens to be. The potato is my favourite potato, and I used to draw on it.
So it was one potato the whole time?
The actual truth is, it was taken away from me, and I cried and I cried and I cried, but they threw it out. So it took me like another 3 or 4 weeks to get used to the new potato.
Dale, did they have names, your potatoes?
No.
You slept with a potato that you didn't even know its name?
Well...
Yes, slag!
Did you hug them? Did you have them close to your face?
I used to put it on the pillow like that, and I used to bash it.
Bash it? Why did you bash it?
Is that how you show love, Dale?
What's the bashing?
Well, I used to like the dent it made in the pillow.
Oh, so you'd bash it onto the pillow and then you'd
and
sleep...
then I would take it out, so that's where you're going to bed later.
Be honest, Dale. Is the truth of this story that your parents would shout through the door, "What are you doing in there?" And you'd say, "Nothing, just bashing the potato"?
You haven't asked me why I stopped, and this is why you'll realise...
Dale, why did you stop?
Because Mrs. Marks, who was our next-door neighbour, I heard her talking to my mother in the driveway, and I heard Mrs. Marks say to my mother, "Is he still sleeping with the potato?" I think that they've been talking about it, and she probably said to Mrs. Marks, "Did any of your children ever want to sleep with a potato?"
So what are you thinking, Lee?
Miranda.
I sort of want it to be true, because he's so sweet.
Yeah.
I do think the two winning things are that that's where you're going to sleep, and Mrs. Marks.
What do you know what?
Is he still
That's the
sleeping
thing.
with...
I think Mrs. Marks exists.
Yeah.
And I like Mrs. Marks. I like what she represents. She represents the sanity of the street.
And the beauty
Whereas
is...
the Wintons, they're all over the shop.
So what are you going to say, Lee? What's it going to be?
What do you think?
I think
do you think it's true?
I do think it's
I
true.
think it's true.
All right, I'll go with my team and say that it's true.
You're saying it's true. OK. Dale Winton, the potato in the bed. Was it the truth or was it a lie?
I have slept with many things over the years, because I'm a very old man, but I have never slept with a potato. It's a lie!
Occasionally, as a treat, I put Marmite on my face and let my dog lick it off. Face.
Yeah. And this is a treat for you or the dog?
I see it as a treat for the dog, because...
How does he see it?
Like many people, I don't... Apparently also very much as a treat.
What kind of dog, please?
She's a Springer Spaniel.
You say this is predominantly for the dog. You must enjoy it on some level, because that's quite an extreme activity to do with...
I've always
just for a dog.
I've always liked having my face licked by the family dog. Always.
By just the dog? Anyone else?
Well, cats have a raspy, sandpapery tongue, and it's not nearly so nice.
Have you ever been caught in that awkward moment where you've marmited up and then somebody's rung the doorbell?
By members of the household, but not by strangers at the door.
Do dogs like Marmite?
Dolly does.
I'm not sure that's a helpful line of inquiry, is it?
Do dogs like...
They like salt.
Of course it's a helpful line of inquiry.
Is it a helpful line of inquiry?
If all dogs hate Marmite, it can't be true.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody on the planet that could answer that question properly.
You don't think there's anyone
on the planet that could answer the question, do all dogs like Marmite? No, I don't think there is.
I don't want this to sound like a rebuke. What I was saying was whether anyone knew whether or not all dogs might hate Marmite. You'd know if all dogs...
That's very much just the other side of the coin, in my book.
No, this isn't a coin. There are three things. There's dogs all hate Marmite,
Yes.
there's dogs all like Marmite,
Yes.
or there's dogs have a similar view to Marmite as humans do.
Yeah, what, let me know hate it?
Rod, as someone who's now in Series 4, you never get into conversations like this with David. He always wins or wears you down. Just don't do it.
Surely it is almost certainly true that some dogs will like Marmite and some won't.
No. For example, I would say that no cats like baked beans.
Would you?
You're definitely wrong about that.
For 2 hours, my cat got stuck in a fridge and genuinely ate a bowl of baked beans. Genuine, I swear on my life.
How did the cat get stuck in the...
The cat, I don't know, just leapt in when my mum opened it once.
And then and you didn't see it?
And
She didn't see a cat in the fridge?
She did that. Probably got some milk, cat jumped in, shut.
Well, she got the milk for the cat, and then where's the cat? Have you seen the cat?
Maybe I'm wrong about cats and baked beans. What I'm saying is there are some foods liked by many humans that certain other species will never eat.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is different species like different things, and
No,
it is possible.
You said that
It is
the things that humans eat, that other animals, all other animals, are species.
We've got to learn to work together.
Well,
yeah, you really have.
Well, in that case, you need to change your opinion.
This programme is taken on tone of civil unrest. I sense anarchy at the gates. David, I'll caution you once. Control your team.
I'm going to have to call in the UN. I can no longer vouch for my team.
Excuse me, what
I'm
have
sorry.
I done?
I feel like a supply teacher who's been parachuted into a problem school. And is finding it very difficult to cope. Hugh, your original statement was to do with the dog licking off your face. Now, how often does this occur?
It's something I started doing as a kid because it was a good way to... That was several dogs...
Good way to what?
to get the family dog to lick my face.
So, David Mitchell, what are you saying? Truth or lie?
Rod, what do you think?
Oh, no.
I think whatever my captain thinks, I will back into the hilt.
Oh, my word.
Can I just say that he just touched David's leg in a slightly effeminate manner? Like that.
If that's what it takes to have them working as a team, Miranda, I'm happy.
That was sexual tension, is that what you're doing?
Is that sexual tension?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't like it. Miranda, what do you think?
I think it is a lie because he doesn't look that desperate for affection in his life.
It has to be a lie, David, otherwise there's something wrong with him.
So you both think it's a lie?
Yes.
Yes.
OK, we'll say lie.
There's a lot riding on this
All right.
one.
So, Hugh Fearnley-Whittingstall.
It was a lie.
I love gravy so much that I freeze it into ice lollies to suck in the summertime.
David.
You maniac.
What sort of gravy? Beef, chicken or vegetable?
Beef gravy would be my gravy of choice.
Do you only make lollies out of the beef gravy?
If I'm desperate...
Yeah, you do sound desperate.
I might possibly choose another gravy.
Do you use granules?
I try and avoid granules, because I think if you're going to have a gravy ice lolly, you might as well do a posh one.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks it's strange. Yeah, everyone thinks it's strange.
Do you think it's strange?
No, because I think if I made you one, you suck that gravy lolly.
Need the inhaler again?
Yeah.
You suck that gravy lolly and you'll be like, Nikki...
There's the slogan right there. It markets itself. You suck that gravy lolly.
So, David, what are you going to say? Is this the truth or is Nikki telling a lie?
What do you think?
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
I think she's off her nut. And I think she's made a gravy lolly.
I think it's a lie because I think... No, I can't believe I'm having to justify this. It's a gravy lolly. I think it's a lie.
I think overall, I think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie. OK. Nikki, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It is, in fact, a lie. But I'm glad you believe it.
Yes, it's a lie. Nikki doesn't freeze gravy to use as ice lollies.
Well, I'm still blind. So, David, would you save us all a lot of time and read my card out for me, please?
OK. I eat an apple a day in a very particular way.
Right, Lee's team.
How long have you eaten an apple a day?
Oh, maybe, probably coming up to a year, 9, 10 months, maybe.
10 months. So what is this particular way?
Well, the usual way to eat an apple...
They don't need to cover that, we know.
Well, I mean, Stephen's from Scotland, he mightn't be aware of eating fruit. So... But if you go in through the side and you eat around the core, and then you put the core in the bin.
Yeah. You're not going to tell me you eat the core first, because we're not going to believe you.
No, but I do eat the whole thing, because I read from a very reputable news source that 90% of the goodness is in the core.
90% of the goodness of an apple
all the benefits.
is that little bit in the middle.
In the middle, that's where all the goodness is, all the benefits. It does so much for your health.
I've been chucking the core to the dog. The dog now is an Olympic athlete. Now it explains it.
So, Chris, you eat the apple, and where most of us then would be left with the core and would discard it, you just carry on.
No. The way that everyone eats an apple is fundamentally wrong. So you don't go in through the side. You need to go in through the bum.
The opposite end to the stalk.
So if you go in through the bum, you don't notice the core because it's distributed equally amongst sweet, juicy apple. So you don't notice all of the goodness.
What the hell are you talking about?
This is great. I mean, if you eat an apple from the side and you're left with the core, all you've got is core. But if you eat it through the bum, up that way, you're getting a little bit of core.
Why don't you eat it through the side, but just keep chewing through the core?
Because then it's just core at the end.
Yeah, because now you've got to go right through the middle.
No, you've got to go through the ride through the core before you get back to apple again. Whereas if you eat the bum end, you're taking more apple each bite.
Yeah.
Who told you that the core is the best part of the apple?
I don't want this to detract from the authenticity of the story in any way, but it was on Apple News.
Apple News?
Apple News, as in the tech company.
Oh, I see. I genuinely thought you subscribed to an Apple newspaper.
Do you know what, Lee, as well? You would be amazed. 2 years ago, I found out that I'd been eating a banana upside down my whole life.
What do you mean upside down?
Your instinct is you get the stalk and you snap the stalk.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Now, and if you open it the other way, it looks more pleasing, isn't it?
Yeah, you hold onto the stalk and twist the nipple. And...
Oh, hang on. How can that be the wrong way? You're still eating the whole banana.
Because if you bend the stem, you run the risk of mushing the end of the banana. So, what I'm saying is, Lee, if you eat an apple from the bum, there's so many benefits, apparently.
What's the benefit?
Everything except for curing blindness.
So, what are you going to say? Truth or lie?
I'm not buying that.
You're not buying it?
No.
You're buying it?
No.
We're not having that. With your apple nonsense.
OK, Chris, truth or lie?
I'm here to change the world, Rob. It's true.
It's David.
Once a week, I love to eat a full English breakfast, but can only do so if I'm entirely stripped to the waist.
Lee's team, what do you think?
Once a week, you say?
Yeah.
Any particular day of the week?
At the weekend, usually a Saturday or a Sunday.
Do you know what the weekend is, David?
Mm-hmm.
Do you cook it, mate? Do you cook it in that state of undress, or do you get undressed once it's cooked?
I get undressed once it's cooked. So, you know, I mean, there's a limit to the amount of undressing required. I mean, I take my top off.
Boxers or...
No, it's...
I think it's waist up, I think you said.
That's the... Yes.
Waist up, yes.
It would be odd if he had a breakfast... but from the waist down, he's stripped naked. That would be odd if you went round to his house and said, thank you, David, for the sausage and beans. We're not done yet.
Yeah. No, that's...
Get them off!
Yeah. And none of you going to ask why?
I am about to ask.
Oh, good.
What on God's earth function does taking your top off play in this breakfast?
In many ways, I've lost a lot of self-respect.
You have.
And sometimes I like to wallow in that.
In that case, we think it's true.
I do find there's a certain amount of splatter involved in the eating of a full
Is this
English.
getting sexual?
Not from my body.
Is this on your own, or would someone join you?
More usually on my own. But I wouldn't...
Would you like someone to join you?
I don't think so, really.
I'm not offering.
Can I ask you a question? Gabby, do you like a fried breakfast?
David, is this... Sorry. Is this for practical reasons? Is it, as you say, just to stop the splashing, or is it a lovely sense of liberation?
I think it's partly practical, partly, yes, of course, you feel closer to nature.
So what are you thinking, Lee? What are you going to say? Is he telling the truth here?
Christy, what do you think? Do you eat with your clothes on?
I do.
You don't strip off for any reason to do with eating?
No, not really.
Do you think he does?
Having got to know David during the course of this evening, I rather suspect he does.
Diane, do you...
No, I do not. No.
No, I was going to
sorry.
say, do you believe it? I was going to say, do you believe it? I wasn't taking the opportunity to go, do you have fries? Do you want to come round my house? Will you take the top off? I wasn't going to say that.
No,
I was
of
thinking
course
it.
not.
I was absolutely thinking it. But I've never said it out loud. But now you've brought it up. Do you want to come round on Sunday? I've got burnt-out potato waffles. Do you think David is telling the truth, or do you...?
I think he's telling the truth.
I think David's a well-brought-up, educated chap.
Yes,
He'd never do
he would
anything
never.
quite so stupid. So it's not true.
Tie.
It's not true.
I'm on lie now. Yeah.
OK, we have to go with lie, then.
You're going to say lie. David, truth or lie?
Please don't be true.
It is a lie.
Thank you.